So a South Carolina man armed with a hatchet was killed in a police involved shooting outside of a Walmart. You can't make these headlines up, y'all. So in Easley, South Carolina, a man with a hatchet was killed by police officers. For those of you who don't know, I am actually from South Carolina. Yes, I'm Florida living now. I was Atlanta, Georgia before that, but I am born and first few years of my life up until I was 6 years old, born and bred or born and raised, however you want to phrase it, in South Carolina. Roughly 30 minutes to 60 minutes from Easley, South Carolina. And for those of you who aren't fully aware of what Easley, South Carolina is, it's the one place in the world you don't want to live. It is a shithole. And I say that nicely. You have a 1 in 34 or 1 in 35 chance of being a victim of some sort of crime in Easley, South Carolina. The FBI is like, listen, there's a lot of really bad places you could live, like Seattle, any part of California right now, New York City, actually, anywhere that's really a sanctuary state, you don't, or city, you don't really want to be in, but you'd want to pick those over Easley, South Carolina. For those of you who might be from Easley, who live in Easley, who have passed through Easley, I can almost promise you're going to agree with me instead of fight me on it. I was a Greenville area girl for the first 6 years of my life, and I spent every single summer in the Greenville area up until I was, I want to say 14. I would spend the summers with my Nana in South Carolina, which is why when I do my little country accent, like, y'all, I worked so hard to get rid of that accent. It was so bad when I was little, like, it was a lot. Think of the most southern sounding person you've ever heard and then just put my face on that, because I was real southern. And when I moved to Atlanta, I was like, no, I can't sound like this Greenville bumpkin anymore, because I mean, that's kind of what I started out as, you know, Greenville, Greer, Spartanburg, like Easley, which is a little farther out, but all those areas, it's very country, and it was very mom and pop areas when I was little growing up. Now, of course, everything has changed and everything's corporations, but we used to go to all these mom and pop little places. What was the name? I used to go to this one place and get, oh, what was it? Cannons. I used to go to this place called Cannons with my Nana and Buddy, which was her boyfriend, which was really my grandfather. He'd been around my entire life, but that's not the point here. We would go to Cannons and get banana splits, and we would split a banana split, and it was the best thing in the world. Then we'd go to this place called Joe's, and it was on this like man-made lake, but they had the absolute best food in the entire world. Then we go into Spartanburg and go to the Beacon, which is kind of like I think it was before the Varsity in Atlanta, but like that, where you could get a double chili cheeseburger and then half and half, meaning half fries and half onion rings. Best food ever. And now I'm drooling because the fat kid in me loves some food. But anyway, I have digressed completely. So when we would go from Atlanta back to South Carolina, my mom and I, on the weekends when I got older, or, you know, to go there in the summer to drop me off for the summer, and she would come, you know, see me outside of work. It was better than going to daycare, you know? So instead of going to a daycare or something, I would spend the summers in South Carolina. But driving from Greenville back to Atlanta area, you'd have to drive through Easley and then Powdersville and Clemson and everything else. Easley is right between, I would say halfway between Greenville and Clemson. For those of you who know where Clemson is, exit 19A and 19B on 85 to go towards Clemson, obviously, and then Greenville, a bunch of whole other exit numbers, a lot of stuff in Greenville. But Easley area, we never stopped there for gas. It was you stop before or you stop after. You do not stop in Easley. You continue trekking. You let the fumes come out from the last gallon of gas that you have, and you let it putter into whatever exit is after Easley. You don't stop in Easley. Now, Walmart is in the headlines of Easley, which is not surprising to me. It says an armed suspect caused a scary scene on Sunday night in the Walmart. The Easley Police Department received a call regarding a disturbance at the Walmart on Rolling Hill Circle around 7 p.m. on Sunday. When officers arrived, they found a suspect armed with a hatchet. They attempted to de-escalate the situation, but at least one officer fired their duty weapon during the incident. Deputy Coroner Tommy Page said Sean Elrod, 33, of Easley, died in the shooting. Police said the scene was quickly secured. SLED has taken over the investigation. SLED. I don't know. Easley Department. I don't know what SL is. South Carolina. Nope. I don't know what SL stands for. I'm not going to lie. As somebody from South Carolina, I feel like I should know, but I do not know what that stands for. Walmart has been in headlines a lot lately for different things, numerous different things. We've talked about their self-checkouts. A lot of them are actually pulling self-checkouts out in smaller areas now, not bigger areas, bigger cities, bigger stores. But some of these smaller stores have said, listen, we're just going to go ahead and pull out the self-checkouts. In other areas, though, they're turning those self-checkouts into membership only. Oh, hey, if you're a Walmart Plus member, you get your special own self-checkout machines. And then they've been in the headlines lately for their rollbacks. Walmart's like, hey, listen, prices have gone up exponentially the last 3 or 4 years, and we're trying to roll things back. I have a video up maybe sometime last week, maybe the week before, where I went into Walmart and you know those big loaves of bread that were $1 for the longest and then creeped up to $1.47? Well, now they're back to $1. And people are like, oh, yay, bread's $1. And I'm like, it was always $1. They raised it 50%. And now they've dropped it that much. And, you know, we feel good about it, but they shouldn't have raised it 50% to begin with. That's not the point. So you have this Walmart and the suspect dead. Obviously, the police officer is going to be under, not investigation, I don't think that's the right word, but he'll probably put on paid leave while they figure out what happened, and then hopefully he'll go back in. I fully believe that if somebody's waving a hatchet at me and coming at me, I'm going to protect myself, and I'm pretty sure that's probably what happened to that police officer. I don't know the whole story. I have not seen a video, camera, body footage, so I don't really know 100% there, but hopefully they get all that worked out. Now, the real thing I wanted to talk to you guys about today, outside of this, but when I saw this, I wanted to bring it up, is bankruptcy, because today, Express filed bankruptcy, Chapter 11 bankruptcy. More and more companies filing Chapter 11 bankruptcy. And I think it's very interesting to note the difference between a Chapter 7 and a Chapter 11 bankruptcy, because I don't think everybody knows the full difference between the two. So I'm going to let you know what it means. If you're filing a Chapter 7 bankruptcy, a Chapter 7 bankruptcy terminates the company's operations and takes the company completely out of business. So if you see a company that says, hey, you know, we're going out, we're filing Chapter 7 bankruptcy, they are done. They are not trying to do anything to save face, to restructure, to do anything. They are fully done, liquidate everything. You know what I mean? Like completely finished. Chapter 11, on the other hand, is a little bit different. Chapter 11, hold on. Chapter 11, according to this, only about 10% of Chapter 11 filings result in success. Far more often, they end up in Chapter 7 straight bankruptcy after they've tried to file Chapter 11. But Chapter 11 bankruptcy it allows a company to stay in business and restructure its finances and operations. If a company filing for Chapter 11 opts to propose a reorganization plan, it must be in the best interest of the creditors, not the business, not the customers, not the merchants, nobody but the creditors, okay? If the debtor does not put forth a plan, the creditors may propose one instead. Now, who was it? Bed Bath & Beyond filed Chapter 11 bankruptcy last year. They didn't go away, obviously. Chapter 11 means you restructure. And what they ended up doing, I believe they were bought out by Overstock.com. You guys remember that website? They bought them out. So Bed Bath & Beyond is still running, but most of their stuff is online, and they are now owned, if I'm remembering correctly, by Overstock.com. Now, the reason this is interesting to me is the fact that Express Inc. filed Chapter 11 bankruptcy today. Well, Express is part of Gap. Gap encompasses all of Gap, Express, and Old Navy have all been, they're like part of a thing, right? So for Express to now file bankruptcy, or am I thinking Limited? I'm thinking the Limited, not Express. Y'all, hold on. They own way too many things here. I wonder if it tells me in this. I don't think it tells me if it's part of it. I'm sorry, I'm looking at no, so Express is on its own. It's the Limited and Old Navy and Gap that are in the same one. Please excuse me, forgive me. I worked at the Limited when I was in high school. You'd think I would know this. I've also worked at Old Navy. I never worked at the Gap. I'm not a khakis and button-up kind of girl. It's just not my thing. But I did work at Old Navy, and I did work at the Limited, and I worked at a lot of other places when I was younger, a lot of retail stuff. But according to this, Express listed assets and liabilities of between $1 billion and $10 billion. That is a massive difference between 1 and 10. That's a $9 billion sweep there in the middle. It will close 95 Express stores in all of its Up West locations, with sales starting on Tuesday. So tomorrow, if you guys like anything from Express, tomorrow is the day to go shopping, because they will be running massive sales, trying to liquidate, basically get rid of some of their stuff so they can restructure what they're doing. They currently have more than 500 stores in the U.S. They did not say which locations of the store will close, though. So we're not going to have a heads up. Hopefully the employees do. Hopefully employees have been given some sort of heads up that their location is closing. If there's another location that's still open, hopefully Express Inc. is trying to relocate their, is that right? Relocate their employees to a new place so they can still stay employed. If not, I hope there's some sort of severance package, although I seriously doubt it since they are filing Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Now, when I read this, I got curious. I was like, you know what? 2024. I wonder how many companies just in 2024 have filed bankruptcy so far. And I will tell you right stat now because I saved the information. So far in 2024, 47 places have filed Chapter 11 bankruptcy. We are January, February, March. We're not even fully through April. So you've got 3.5 months and you've already had 47 companies filed Chapter 11 bankruptcy. You don't even, 179, hold on. 2023, it was, let's see, how many in 2023? 2023, 176 companies filed Chapter 11 bankruptcy. And I have to ask myself, would these same companies have filed Chapter 11 bankruptcy if 2020 had not occurred, if the world had not shut down, if everything had not gone to hell in a handbasket for the last few years? Would these companies have filed? In 2023, I will put a link to all of these in the pinned comment so you guys can go through and look at all these companies that filed bankruptcy, Chapter 11. But just in 2023 alone, the ones that stand out to me are Backyard Burgers, Bally Sports, all different kinds of Bally's, different cities and whatnot. Boston Market. I used to love Boston Market. They had the best mac and cheese. Their chicken was amazing. Y'all, if y'all don't know, y'all don't know. But Bye Bye Baby. That one didn't surprise me. That place was extremely expensive. I remember when I was pregnant, 15 years ago, 15.5 years ago, that people were like, go to Bye Bye Baby and get your bassinet, get a crib, get a whatever. And I remember walking in going, who's paying for this? Have y'all seen the prices here? I don't think so. Now you understand why they had to file Chapter 11 bankruptcy, because they were expensive. You also had, let's see, Corner Bakery Cafe, Corningware, David's Bridal. Y'all, David's Bridal. I tried on wedding dresses at David's Bridal. In the long run, though, I ended up buying a $50 dress from JCPenney after prom, and we did a courthouse wedding because we decided that spending thousands upon thousands of dollars for a party didn't make sense. We'd rather put that down towards our first home. So we did a courthouse wedding, and it was amazing. And then we had a little reception, if you will, afterwards at Macaroni Grill. And for our honeymoon, we went to Dave & Buster's and played games and hung out, and it was great. It was amazing. That was almost 16 years ago. So a lot of places have closed. Halloween City, I don't know what that one is. I don't know why I mentioned that one. Let's see. Instant Pot, not Instapot, but Instant Pot. Aha. Invicta Watch Group. What is this? Who else in 2023 that we would all know? Wild Wing Cafe filed Chapter 11 bankruptcy. We love Wild Wing Cafe. There's one in Georgia that we get wings from for the family every time we go back. Did not know they filed Chapter 11. Let's see. Universal Entertainment. Huh. What else do we have here? Tuesday Morning. Have you guys ever been to Tuesday Morning? That's a really nice store. What else do we have? Soho Properties. That's interesting. Serta, the company, Serta. You're betting? Serta. Okay. These are what killed me that filed Chapter 11 bankruptcy in 2023. The Roman Catholic Archdiocese of Baltimore. The Roman Catholic Archdiocese of San Francisco. That makes sense to me because San Francisco has turned into a complete shithole. Roman Catholic Diocese of Albany. Roman Catholic Diocese of Ogdensburg. Don't know where that is. Roman Catholic Diocese of Santa Rosa in California. When a church files Chapter 11 bankruptcy, that's weird to me. How does that work? Because this is a church, right? A Roman Catholic Archdiocese of Baltimore. That's a church. I'm not Catholic, so I don't know. But it says it in there, so I would assume that's a church. And aren't churches like tax-free businesses? And I guess they still, as a business, could file Chapter 11. Have y'all seen some of these Catholic churches that are just extravagant? There's no way those did not cost millions of dollars to build. I can see how Chapter 11 bankruptcy would be necessary. Okay. What else do we have here? Roman Catholic Diocese of Oakland Hey, the original Pancake House. Have y'all ever been to one of those? I'm an IHOP fan myself, but I have been to the original Pancake House and it was very tasty. Let's see, Music, the company, M-U-Z-I-K. If you've ever been a content creator, you've probably heard of them. What else do we have here? Los Angeles Port Police Association. What? How does that file Chapter 11 bankruptcy? Y'all, there are so many things on here. We got to put this in the pinned comment so y'all can check it out. Tell me if any of these other things look crazy to you. But so far in 2024, I'm sorry, I've kind of squirreled off, if you will. 2024, 99 cents only stores. Surprise, right? Surprise. Another one that most people may know of is Bowflex. Bowflex has filed Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Let's see, Express Inc. We just talked about them. Harrah's Reno. So Harrah's Casino in Reno, Nevada has filed Chapter 11 bankruptcy. What else do we have here? There's a lot more. Another Roman Catholic Diocese of Sacramento. Okay. Tijuana Flats. I think it's a restaurant. Tijuana Flats. They filed Chapter 11 bankruptcy this year. And not to be outdone by all of that, there are 10 retailers that they, I guess the powers that be, are saying need to be watched for their high probability of having to file Chapter 11 bankruptcy this year in 2024. And out of those 10, Express was on the list. And this list came out last year, at the end of last year. And Express it filed Chapter 11. So I'm really going to pay attention to these other 9. Let me tell you what they say. Now, this is from, what is this? National Law Review, okay? And I will link this one as well. This is from National Law Review. 10 retailers to watch for a possible bankruptcy filing in 2024. Number 1, Petco. You guys, I'm pretty sure you already know this. According to Retail Drive, the company has a high long-term debt load of $1.7 billion. Joann, the fabric store, they actually just built one in my city where I live. They literally just put in a brand new Joann. And we talked about it when it went up. I was like, I'm pretty sure they're like right there on the brink of Chapter 11 bankruptcy. And sure as shit, they're talking about it here that Joann could be crafting a Chapter 11 plan. That's, get it, crafting, because Joann. Yeah, anyway. Express, which we already know, is it on the fast track to a filing? Whoever wrote this has dad humor. AMC, does it have a second act? Y'all, I don't know who wrote this, but it's funny. Big Lots, lots of issues. Get it? Big Lots, lots of issues. So AMC, the movie theater company, they're on the list. Big Lots, Kohl's, which I am not surprised. I used to buy everything at Kohl's. I loved Kohl's. Now I go into Kohl's and I'm like, you're real expensive, ma'am, sir. I want nothing to do with you. And all of your stuff is like, meh. I don't really like any of it. So I haven't bought anything at Kohl's in forever. Foot Locker. It says, is the shoe dropping? Again, the dad humor of this. Stein Mart. I know a lot of you have heard of Stein Mart. I like Stein Mart personally, but is a Chapter 22 in the near future for them. The Container Store. That one makes sense to me. It's literally just a store full of Tupperware. You can get Tupperware at Walmart, Dollar Tree, Target, CVS, a yard sale from your neighbor. Like, you don't need an entire store dedicated to containers, that's my thought. And then JCPenney. JCPenney has been in and out for the longest time about Chapter 11 bankruptcy. So according to this, although Simon Property Group and Brookfield Asset Management rescued the company for $1.75 billion in 2020, which is, you know, when they started floundering, if you will, Finance Buzz reports that the department store continues to face sales issues. If you've been into a JCPenney, I can guarantee you this is why they have sales issues. Their kids department, their young girls department, the dresses they have for 7, 8, and 9-year-olds look like something 20-year-olds wear while they're like swinging around a pole in a strip club. The clothing now for young girls, especially in JCPenney, is atrocious. And it's going to sound some type of way when I say it out loud. But JCPenney, from what I have seen lately, is geared more towards a Hispanic audience or a shopper or whatever else with the style of clothing, and it doesn't work very well in non-highly Hispanic areas. So I can see why JCPenney may be on its way out. It says the street reported in late summer a $1 billion revival plan to upgrade the in-store experience. Only time will tell if the store can avoid a Chapter 11 bankruptcy, basically a Chapter 22, if you will. they're not going to make it. My personal opinion, JCPenney will not make it. Container Store, they're obsolete in my opinion. Big Lots, we have one over here. There's nothing good in it. Express is already gone. Joann, there's a quilting place next to me. They're open for maybe a few hours, a few days a week. And I'm like, how many people in the panhandle of Florida where it gets like 100 friggin' degrees are making quilts? Like, I'm very surprised that this place is still in existence. So I feel like we're going to see if there's 176 places that filed Chapter 11 in 2023. We're already at, I said 46 or 49, I don't remember, for 2024. I bet money, and I don't want to, but I bet money that 2024 surpasses 2023 with Chapter 11 bankruptcies, which sucks. I know Revlon filed Chapter 11 bankruptcy last year. Some other places I can't think of to save my life right now, but there's a lot. So the thing is, people are like, the economy's trash, and then, you know, other side, the economy's fine, It's somewhere in the middle. It's in this weird limbo. And these companies that are filing Chapter 11 bankruptcy doesn't mean, let's point this out, doesn't mean that they're having issues. Sometimes they file Chapter 11 bankruptcy as a way to renegotiate terms. Think about when you get a car loan, your mortgage, or whatever, and the interest rates change, or you need a lower payment, and so you refinance. A lot of these companies are using a Chapter 11 bankruptcy as a way to refinance the money that they owe, to make it so that it's easier to pay, less at a time, extends it out even longer, maybe lower interest rates, maybe get certain creditors off their back a little bit more. So sometimes these things are done strictly out of strategic business sense, as opposed to floundering, trying to keep their head above water sense. But I still think because of that, because you can use it as like a loophole on your money, I feel like you're going to see even more companies in 2024 file Chapter 11 bankruptcy as a way to renegotiate the money that they are spending. Now, some of those will obviously have to file Chapter 7 later because it's not going to be enough to help them. But the ones who are doing it to be smart with their money, they're going to be just fine. So thanks for hanging out with me, Squirrel Tribe. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. I hope you have had a fabulous Monday, my dudes. I am going inside of my apartment now because I have a live stream on Squirrel Tribe 2.0 starting very soon. So I love y'all, and I'll see you guys again tomorrow. Bye.